Thank you. Hi Alex, can I just what the mood in the camp is? I mean, obviously going in tomorrow, we don't know what you're going to face yet, but by tomorrow you probably know what you're going to need to do. So how is the mood?
Yeah, it's been pretty good. Obviously a great win against New Zealand, a really tight game and a tight contest. Hopefully should set us up well for the rest of the tournament. But yeah, we enjoyed a nice day off yesterday and going to hit training hard today, and everyone's feeling confident and looking forward to tomorrow.
Can I just ask about the pitches as well? Have they been what you used to facing in Australia? Obviously, you're one of England's most experienced players in white ball cricket in Australia. But a couple of months ago, there's been a lot of rain. Has it been what you're used to?
It's actually been a little bit different. I think the numbers at the top of the order throughout the tournament have been probably lower than what you usually expect. So it's certainly been different to what I'm used to. There's been a fair bit of swing, a bit of seam and bounce. So it's been fairly difficult. So had to hang in there at times, and pleased to get a contribution the other night. But the weather looks a bit better going forward. So hopefully the pitches will get better as well.
You've been back in England set up for a few weeks now. I think every time you've made a contribution, scored 50 or more, and you've gone on to win. So just how well do you think you've fitted back in, and how well do you think it's been going?
Yeah, it's been sort of on and off for me personally. I mean, there's been a few low scores in there as well as some high ones. So hopefully I can find a bit more consistency going forward. I think that's something I've done well over the last few years. Is fewer single figure scores and more contributions. So I felt in good touch the other night. So hopefully I can keep that going for the rest of the tournament.
And are you guys paying much attention to net run rates?
It's always a big thing, isn't it? But I think ours is looking pretty good. I think I'm not sure exactly what it is. I think we also have to win by 60 runs, and we have to have a tight game or something like that. I think that's what the guys have been saying around the camp. So I think we're just going to focus on us. As long as we put in a good performance, we all play well, then it should take care of itself.
Chris?
On that theme, Alex, we don't know what's going to happen yet, but if Australia were to win quite handsomely tonight, and the scenario for you guys was you need to maybe get to a target a bit quicker than normal, is that something you think this team is comfortable with, and would you be comfortable setting that tone at the top of the order, kind of teeing off if you really had to?
Yeah, for sure. I think it all comes naturally to us, especially with the layout of our squad playing an extra batter. You've got the middle order is so strong, guys who can strike quite easily at 200 strike rate. So I think it's a very confident batting unit, and I think we'll be able to adapt to whatever tomorrow needs.
So it almost kind of plays your strengths, doesn't it? That kind of having to be uber aggressive.
I think so. Yeah, it certainly plays to my strengths. I think it plays to a lot of almost every batter's strength in the side is to go out and play their shots and be aggressive. And I think that's well, we've got a very successful batting line.
Can you just tell us about your emotions about playing Sri Lanka in this tournament? I remember a certain game in 2014, I think in Bangladesh, where you did quite well.
Yeah, good memories. Yeah, they're a tough side. They're always a very tricky side, and they've got some handy operators. So we're going to have to play our best cricket to win. But like I said, we're pretty confident, and the mood's good in the camp. So I feel like we can deal with anything they throw at us.
Alex, have you looked ahead after the tournament's done? There's no World Cup, a different format, of course, but a year away. Presumably, you'd like to be there, and have you had that conversation at all?
I'll be honest with you, I haven't had that conversation. I haven't really sort of looked that far ahead. I just wanted to enjoy this World Cup in Australia, try and perform as well as I can, and see what happens. But I'll be honest with you, I haven't had that conversation yet. But we'll see what happens in the future.
You'd like to, though, Jim?
Is it the 50th World Cup? I haven't played a 50 over game in maybe 3 years, so probably need to try and find a way to play that format before. But if that chance comes along, then great.
And on that, it can be quite difficult, I guess, as someone who's playing T20 nearly all the time, to rediscover form if you're out of form. I mean, I don't particularly remember a spell when you've been out of form, but is that something you struggle with? And what can you do? In general, what should players do who maybe could do with a bit of a bat?
I've been lucky throughout my career just playing T20 cricket. I've never been one for huge amounts of volume when it comes to hitting balls. So I think when I've T20, you can find yourself short of time in the middle if you're out of touch. But throughout my career, I've never been one to have to hit thousands of balls to feel good. So I feel like it's kind of suited me in a way. But yeah, I guess I'm lucky in the last few years. I've felt in good touch most of the time. I think opening occasionally in T20, you're going to go through little blips, but it can take one thing to click and, you can feel on top of the world again. So it's just about understanding what you need to find that form again.
Alex, how much of an advantage do you think it is being knowing you're playing 24 hours after Australia and you know exactly what your situation will be in terms of whether it be keeping Sri Lanka to a total or moving X amount of overs?
Yeah, I think that does play to our advantage. See what happens there, and then we can adapt to whatever tomorrow requires. I guess we're pretty confident with whatever we need to do. We've got the skills and firepower to do it.
Ignace, the pitch you're playing, I think, is the third time that this pitch has been used. Does that change plans or potential? Like, obviously, usually if you're chasing that run rate, teams will want to chase and know how quick they've got to get the runs. But does the fact that it'll be an old wicket, does that maybe change plans around that?
Maybe, I guess you'll probably have to ask the think tank there. Joss and Motti will probably know the answers to that, but more often than not, it's a decent picture. It can dry up and spin, but we'll have to have a look at it. I haven't seen the pitch yet, so we'll have a look over the next 24 hours.
Alex, can I just ask about Sam Curran and how impressive he's been over this whole stay in Australia, really, as someone who's come back into the team? Obviously, you watched him when you were outside of the team, but you've come back into the England setup, and just how good is Sam, and how much development have you seen him in as a bowler, particularly at the death? Yeah, brilliant. He's a proper three-dimensional cricketer, excellent in the field, can give it a whack with a bat, and I think his death numbers over the last couple of years have improved dramatically. And for such a young man to be firing that consistently on the world stage is brilliant to see, and he's only going to keep getting better and better over the next few years. So he's a massive asset for England.
Any more in the room? Yeah, go ahead.
Alex, you spoke about the pitches being slightly different. Have you guys had to chat about maybe playing in a different manner, in a sort of slightly conservative than how you guys play? Have you had a chat about that, or is it just stick to the original game plan?
I think the biggest thing is to be adaptable. I think it's probably not quite what we expected here, but I guess it being spring and all the rain that's been around, there was always going to be a bit more swing in teams. So it's just about being able to adapt to what each game requires and thinking quickly on your feet. And I guess that's a job as a opener, is to assess as quickly as possible what's going to be a good score and try and adapt as quickly as you can.
Any last one?
What would it be like to qualify for semi-finals, to get to a stage of knockout cricket in this competition, with all the, I suppose, background of the success that this white ball team has had over a number of years?
Yeah, it'd be pretty special. Certainly on a personal level, to have a chance to play knockout cricket in the World Cup would be a very special feeling. And I think as a group it will be too. It's a pretty tight competition, and to get through is difficult. Only 2 out of the 6 teams go through. So you have to beat some very good teams along the way. So it would be a good achievement if we can get through in a pretty tough group, in my opinion. So we'll have to play some good cricket, and one more game we'll be at that stage.
And has this experience coming back lived up to all your kind of hopes and dreams that you thought it would be?
Yeah, it's been brilliant. It's been so much fun. Great to be back around the guys, and it's been really smooth and enjoyable. And to get a chance to play in the World Cup in a country that I've spent a lot of time means a lot to me. It's a great feeling. So you'd be the cherry on top if we can walk away with the medal.
Okay, I think we're done. Yeah. Cheers, Alex. Thank you.
Thanks very much, guys.